Hi, I'm Allie and welcome back to Haven's Kitchen. Today we're making a chicken larb salad. While this isn't an authentic Laotian or Thai dish, what we really love doing at Haven's Kitchen is picking up sort of like little notes from different global cuisines and making them really easy for home cooks. So what we're going to do today is take the flavors of a traditional larb and make it into a really hearty, really beautiful salad. We are going to be making one of the most important components of larb, which is just a toasted rice powder. So we're going to be toasting this rice over a low heat in just a saucepan, and then when it gets nice and golden and fragrant, we're going to use a spice grinder to grind it up into a powder. You can buy ground rice powder at a specialty store, but it's very easy to make at home. It just takes about 10 or 15 minutes. After the rice is done, we're going to basically make the chicken. And we're going to get a nice hot pan with some bird's eye chili. That's optional. It is really, really spicy. And some shallots, and just crumble up the chicken and get it nice and crispy. Then we're going to add in our coconut cashew sauce to imbue it with all of that lemongrass flavor and the macroot lime leaves. And we're going to toss it with some edamame, and then we're going to make a big, beautiful salad with herbs and our pickled onions, which are over here, and all these beautiful things. If this recipe sounds like something you'd like to make, be sure to subscribe to see this and all of our future recipes. All right, let's get started. Like I said, the first thing we're gonna do is make our rice powder. So we're basically gonna toast this in a pan, let it get nice and golden and fragrant, and then put it in the spice grinder and grind it up into a powder. Let's head over to the stove. So while the rice is toasting, we're gonna stir it occasionally, but this is a good time to prep your other ingredients. So basically, you've seen us do this before. We're gonna pickle some red onions in some rice vinegar and just let them sit. Soaking the onions in the rice vinegar takes out a little bit of that bitterness and just kind of gets that like tangy, vinegary, nice sort of pickled onion taste. We're gonna cut some cucumbers, get our shallots ready for the chicken, slice some radishes, and you can always keep radishes if you wanna pre-slice them in some water. It'll keep them nice and fresh while you're waiting to throw them in your salad. So my rice is just like a nice, lightly toasted, kind of golden color. It smells so fragrant and delicious. And we're basically just gonna put it in the spice grinder. So if you're gonna be using spices a lot, I really highly recommend buying whole spices more frequently. They don't have a shelf life of 6 years, as some people might think that they do, and getting a spice grinder so that you can grind them up right as you're about to use them. So now we're gonna grind our rice. So now we're gonna head back over to the stove, get the shallots simmering, add in our little bird's eye chilies, get the chicken crispy, and get ready to make the rest of the larb. So I'm using butter lettuce, but you could use any kind of lettuce you want. Traditionally, larb is served in lettuce cups, but again, we're making sort of a salad version. And again, not really claiming any authenticity or traditionalism here. So we have lettuce, and we're just gonna add a bunch of cucumbers. This is a clean out your fridge situation. If you want to add some leftover broccoli, that would be really good. Carrots, cabbage, all of that would really be beautiful. I really like these radishes that I saw, so I'm going to add some of those. One thing I do want to mention if you are using a hot chili is just to make sure when you cut it, if you do touch your fingers to it, be careful not to touch your fingers to your eyes or your nose. Now I'm just going to put the chicken on top. The flavors here are just really delicious, really sort of clean flavors, but also hearty. I think this is just a great dish to put in front of a bunch of friends. If you wanted to, you could keep the chilies kind of on the side and people could kind of dress it themselves. If they wanted it a little more spicy or a little bit herbier. Of course, definitely have more coconut cashew sauce on hand because it's not only seasoning the meat, but it's also the dressing. Now we're just gonna put some of our mint and our basil. This is one of those salads that's so pretty that I wouldn't mince it or chop it. I would just pick off the leaves right as you're about to serve it. You could use Thai basil or just regular basil, but these little baby leaves kind of at the top are particularly pretty. For our color, we're gonna use the pickled red onions that we just sort of soaked in a little rice vinegar at the beginning. So there you have it, our chicken larb salad. Really easy, done super quickly, and a beautiful showstopper dish for all your friends. If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to like this video and subscribe to see all of our future videos. For the full recipe and a textable shopping list, click the link below. Thank you so much for watching and cook happy.